All right, everybody. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. I'm a little early today. I think quarter of 6. But weather's good. 33 degrees. We're above freezing. That's always good. Oh, here we go. We just got one trip today. One trip. Sunday fun day. Although I do need to stop and get gas. Got the card. Got the coffee, card. I got everything I need. Everything I need. I'm starting to use my high beams more. It's funny what hitting a deer will do for you. No, but seriously, I've started using my high beams more recently. I used to never. Sorry about the fan. I'm going to turn the fan up for a little bit. I didn't really warm up the fan today. So I'm going to warm it up now as we begin today's adventure. I can't tell whether my body wants to get sick or not. You know what I mean? You know that feeling like when you're on the edge? I'm not going to let it happen. But like yesterday, John, if you're listening to this, yesterday I laid down with I fed my dog, and then a little bit later I just kind of like laid down with him for a little bit just to kind of hang out. Fell asleep. When I woke up, I walked back into the room where I had my computer, and the stream was over. So I was there for the whole stream, sort of, in spirit. But I did fall asleep. I've got to do something about my sleeping schedule. I've been pushing it. High beams and then you turn them off. It's a big difference. Maybe that's why I never used them. But anyway, so I think maybe because I'm sleeping, like my sleep pattern just hasn't gotten back into sync. Like at 8 o'clock, I just have to go, all right, I'm getting off the computer. Done. I gotta go. Gotta go to bed. But I can't do it. But you know, it's not wet today. Like yesterday, we had that mist. It's kind of kicking up on the road and stuff. At least it's dry today, so that's good. Once I get to the inside of this van warmed up, I'll be good to go. Yard lit up today. It's the first time I've seen that. I was thinking, so here's, I'm jumping into my thought midstream. Here's what I'm thinking. next week, the bakery actually closes for a week, first week of the year. So from the January 1st through the 6th, they're closed. So I won't be on those mornings. So the first, I'm not going to do anything the first. So we're really talking about like five mornings that I would normally be on, give or take a Thursday, that I won't be on. So actually, I'm trying to figure if that's the case, what is the 7th? Is the 7th Wednesday? The 1st is Thursday, right? So the 7th would be the next Wednesday. Okay, so I will be back on the 7th. So I'm really only missing. Anyway, here's what I'm thinking. So I might try to replace those days with something, like drive somewhere. I don't think I'd get up. I'm still going to get up early, but I think I would wait till the sun was up before I go anywhere. But like maybe, I don't know, maybe one day, I'm pretty close to a couple of things. Gettysburg, kind of interesting. Drive through there, take a look at it. The Bay Bridge, we've got a bridge that connects Maryland, East Coast, the Eastern Shore to the main part of Maryland. So we have a pretty big bridge that crosses that, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. So possibly drive across that. That'd be cool. I was thinking I could loop. I used to be able to drive completely around Baltimore. We have a beltway that goes around the whole city, but I can't do that anymore because one leg of that is a tunnel now. I'm gonna ride down and see what's going on with that bridge construction. You know, we had a bridge, you remember, what, 2 years ago? I guess we're coming up on almost 2 years ago. We had the bridge that collapsed when that tank, well, I guess it was a cargo ship hit it. That was a pretty major deal. But that is under construction. But if you go, that used to be part of the loop. Now there is a way to get through using the tunnels. We have a harbor tunnel that goes underneath, but I know I'd lose the signal. I don't even know if, I think that would be too long to keep the stream. I think the stream would end. So anyway, but I think I'll try to think if there are a handful of places I could drive around just to be on for like an hour, 2 hours. Annapolis, I could ride through Annapolis. I could do that the day that I do the Bay Bridge, actually. That would make sense. It's gonna go yellow. Going. So, that's what I'm thinking. Share your thoughts in the comments. You know, I learned that I don't think you can add comments to a live stream until it ends. Is that true? Like I wanted to add a comment to somebody. I was in somebody's live stream. Something happened that I wanted to put like a little note that said, hey, that was cool, blah, 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 and then put a time on it. But the live stream was still going. And I didn't see a place to add a comment. I know that you have the chat, but I didn't want to put it in the chat. Because I wanted it to be there, you know, in the comments section. There's a way to do that. I don't know. wait until after. Also, I'm not sure whether the time would work out to be exactly the same, because I know my live streams, sometimes the time it is on the stream when I'm live right now can be slightly different than what it is in the replay. Because if there is, I think when YouTube processes that live stream and makes it a replay, it like takes out sections where you either didn't have a connection or the screen was frozen, like that kind of stuff. I think, because I think when you look at the replay, it just jumps. No, I know that's the case, because like when I stop to get gas, I always lose that connection. But if you watch my replay, it just skips over that altogether. Like you would never even notice it happened. So what happens is, if you have enough events happening, if you have enough things like that happening in your live stream, then after YouTube processes that replay, your timing is different, because it's cut out pieces of your life. Your life. It's basically just eliminated parts of your life. Trays rattling. I don't know what it'll do to my music though. I don't know if you'll still be able to hear my music. Probably will. It looked like it had like different levels of like sound elimination that you can choose, right? So like if you're outside and the wind's blowing in your face, you crank it up so that you don't get all that wind noise. I think in the van I wouldn't have it. I would have it like a little lighter than that. was thinking about, I don't think they still do this. Maybe they do, but I don't pay attention anymore. They used to have on the radio, this is radio, this is when people actually listen to the radio, and in their house, not just in the car. And the last day of the year, they would have like the top 100 countdown. I don't know if that was Casey Kasem or not. I think it was. Might have been Dick Clark, maybe. I don't know. One of them. I think it was probably Casey Kasem, because every week Casey Kasem would come on and do the American Top 40. I used to listen to that religiously. But that was like a big deal. For the last day of the year, you could listen to you never really wanted to tune in too early, because like the 89th most popular song of the year was probably not something you were really excited to listen to. But once you got down below 50, you were starting to hit stuff. It was good. Every year. I also like to go through my budget, do all that kind of stuff the last week of the year. I like to clean all that stuff up. This is like the week that I find out that I have 2 Netflix subscriptions, stuff like that. Like I'll go through my credit card receipts and stuff. That was what I was thinking about, the fact that you could put that information into AI and say, give me a summary of this and that, but I'm not doing that, because always keep in mind that whatever you type into AI, any question, any piece of information you share with it, it is totally public. Like they're using AI to learn stuff, right? So they take everything that goes into AI, and it's out there. Like they're using that information. Not in a bad way. I mean, maybe in a bad way, but regardless of that, they're using it anyway to train the AI brain, or whatever you want to call it. So just be aware of that. Don't put stuff out there. Like I would take a credit card statement and stick it into AI and say, give me a summary of this. I mean, I'd like to. It would make it easy, but I'm not doing that. If you want a before and after picture because you're going to lose weight, don't take your before picture and post it into AI. Somebody's going to see it. Just saying. Self-driving car thing. I have some thoughts about that. I won't get into it right now because we're about to make our delivery. But I have some thoughts about that. A few of my questions have been answered by people. I've seen people in areas where autonomous cars are driving, like they're currently happening, like the Waymo things. And maybe Elon Musk's self-driving programs are better, more advanced or whatever, but yeah, I have some thoughts about that. I think they open at 7 on Sundays. They get there at 6. So there is somebody in there. But they don't know I'm here. Because there's no chance anybody's looking at the drive-thru because nobody's at the drive-thru. So I'm going to call them. Bear with me 1 second. You lose audio when I'm making a phone call. For privacy reasons. Although I wouldn't really care in this case. Alright, the phone rang like 15 times or whatever. They never picked it up, but sometimes they don't. So let's just see. There we go. See? I just... back. Stay there. The donuts have been delivered. I was going to say something. All right, off to get gas. What's our next journey? Oh, I know. So, since the bakery is closed for a week, what they do is they get everything prepped up and ready, and the guy who runs this shop picks up, just keep his order going. He picks it up. He just comes to the shop in the morning, picks it up. So there's no delivery process that week, and the bakery itself is closed, so they're not open for customers and stuff. But they do keep that running, and he just comes and stops by and picks it up. I guess he's got like a thing in his car. I mean, I have a thing in my car, so I would be able to take, I think, 7 or 8 trays like that. But I'm not trying to do that. Let's see. But, you know, I don't know about how you feel about this, but I'm a person who, I like when Christmas is over, it's over for me. You know what I mean? Like, I like the build up. I love Christmas. Don't get me wrong. I love Christmas. But from, you know, like, I don't have it lingering on into January. Like, even when I was a little kid, I used to like decorate my room for Christmas. And I'd put up a little Christmas tree, actually a couple. I put, you know, like, I did a lot of stuff in my room because I was so excited about Christmas. But boom, January 1st, done. I think actually the 31st, I would take everything, clean it all up. I like just January 1st, like, boom, fresh. Nothing, you know, it's a new year, it's a new me. I don't do the lingering thing. Now, most of my family did, so it was always kind of a weird. I was done. There was still a Christmas tree in the living room when I was little. For a while. Nothing crazy, but. used to have this contest where it was my mom and my brothers and me and my aunt. My aunt visited a lot. My mother's sister. She would come visit us quite a bit. Actually, she stayed with us for a little while sometimes. But I would put pictures of like very, like just the outline of a Christmas tree, and you could see that it was in a room, like a living room kind of thing with a fireplace. But it was just it was just the picture of it. It wasn't like colored or didn't have any it wasn't like done. And so I would have a contest to see, like, it would start in the beginning of December sometime until Christmas, and everybody had a tree. So there was like on my door, the door to my bedroom, everybody had a picture of a tree in this little room, and you had to like draw, you had to decorate your tree, and I had like pens attached to the door somehow. I don't remember that part, but you could draw, color, whatever. Obviously, my mom got really into it. She was like, my aunt, pretty much. My younger brother, my older brother was like, he liked to play the Grinch all the time, like sort of like, yeah, whatever, it's Christmas. And like as an example, he had like a little tiny, like 1-inch tall Christmas tree looking thing that he would put on the desk in his room. That was his decoration for Christmas. So when it came to decorating his tree on the door, he would put like one ball on the tree or something like that. It's kind of funny. But his always looked pretty stark. My mom's was always crazy. And then my aunt and my brother, they did good. I think a while back, I think I actually found one year's version of that. I think I have the actual paper that was on my door that they decorated. I have it somewhere. I don't really keep a lot of stuff. I do not keep stuff around the house. I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to stuff like that. But if it's something that like really means something to me, and it's rare that I get to that point with something. But when I do, I gotta keep it. And I guess I felt that way about that year's pictures. Summer, the sun's up by now. That's what's so crazy about this time of day. clocks, right? You got people that want to just keep it daylight savings time all year long. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, that works really good for evening people. If you're a morning person, it's not really good. Because like right now, if it was daylight savings time, we jump forward an hour, right? So right now would be 7:30 in the morning. It's 6:30 right now, but right now would be 7:30. Well, that's not good. I don't like that. I mean, it would be later. I mean, it would be lighter later. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of not. I would prefer to keep daylight savings time, the way it is. It's not a big deal to me to change the clocks. I know there's studies. 4 people die every year because we change the clocks or something like that. But you know what I have to say about that? Only the strong survive. I know it sounds cold, but I don't like the idea of not changing to standard time. Or keep standard time all year. If changing the clock is a problem, why don't we make it just standard time? Hence the word standard. Let me know what you think. I mean, maybe I could be convinced that the other is right, but I think as a morning person, I'm going to lean toward standard time being my favorite time. Because in the middle of summer, with daylight savings time, in the middle of summer, it's still sunlight. Sometimes, I mean, in the end of June, July, it's like almost 9 o'clock. The sun's still out. Definitely 8:30. Between 8, I think the sun sets between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Well, that's plenty of time. So you bring that back an hour. Now it's 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's not good. That's not a thing. Of course, I realize I'm an early to bed person. But just my thoughts. Goodness, how long have you been listening? I'm rambling. like this. I don't know how long this light is. Good thing we don't have any donuts back there. Made it. Alright, so I'm getting gas. I have bakery credit card today, so that means I'll only get 5 cents off the price of BJ's. It was late. It was late. The Blake was late. So let's see what BJ's. Now here's the thing. I know I lose the connection when I'm in BJ's gas station. So normally it comes back, sometimes it doesn't. I don't understand why sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But if it doesn't, I'll just start another stream. Woo! 245. Is that right? 245. Wow. Okay, so their advertised price is $2.45. So
Yeah, that says a long time.
we are about to pay $2.40. Back on? Are you back?
Pianet says the delay is super long today.
So good. Am I back? Did you just say that, or did you say that before we left? Acquiring minds. Multi-volume. Oh, that's interesting. See me? I think you do. Turn that off. All right. Here we go. Yeah, sometimes I pull out of there and the live stream isn't just paused, but it actually ends. I don't know why that happens sometimes. But no, so I was going to share a few thoughts about autonomous driving cars, right? So one question I had previously was, do they obey all of the traffic laws? Like, are they going to drive exactly the speed limit? And I believe the answer to that is yes, they are. I wasn't sure. I figured it probably would be the case, but I heard this guy who lives in Los Angeles, he was talking about how annoying they are, and that's one of the things. I mean, do people realize nobody, well, I'm not going to say nobody, there are people out there, but very few people that drive the speed limit. This doesn't happen. People are like 5 miles an hour over. You know, some people go up to 10. You know, you can go above that, but then you're getting a little wild. But 5 to 10 miles over the speed limit. That's what we all do. Everybody does it. So that's one thing. You are going to have the slowest automobiles in the world. He said it drives you crazy. They drive exactly the speed limit. Not a mile over, not a mile under. You know, like that's what they do. The other thing that I hadn't even thought about this, they don't handle yellow lights very well, right? So like when they come up on a yellow light, they're going to stop. And I don't know where it decides when to stop and when not to, but apparently it stops at a point where most people would not stop, right? I know. And then think about this. This is also a very interesting one. You know, when the right that you have, when you're in the left-hand lane and you're gonna make a left-hand turn at a red light, there's no signal. You don't get the arrow. This is one of those traffic lights where you're just going to go on a green when you have the opportunity, right? So if you've got heavy oncoming traffic and you don't see an opportunity to get in, it's like bumper to bumper coming the other way. Well, then you wait until the yellow. You get yourself halfway out there in the middle of the intersection. You wait for the yellow, and then when the car's coming at you, stop, you go. And I've seen cases where like that's basically just like one or two cars get through, and that's it. Unless, somebody coming the other way lets you out. So I don't know how that would work on an autonomous car. Would the car be smart enough to say, okay, it's yellow, actually it's getting ready to turn red, it might even turn red, but I'm going to go because I'm halfway through. I don't even know if it'll go halfway into the intersection. I don't know. I don't know. They're just things. But it is going to happen. And I think the reason that I'm becoming so fascinated by the whole topic is that I do believe it is going to happen. For a while I thought, that's not going to happen in my lifetime. I don't have to worry about that. But I think it's coming soon. Like you've got a handful of cities, maybe less than a handful, but you've got a few cities out there where it's happening. I mean, there's nobody in the car. And it's driving probably people like me, maybe not everybody, but people like me, it's driving them crazy because it's like one of those drivers that just drive you crazy. But there's really nobody driving you crazy but a robot or a program or whatever. I don't know. They're supposed to be safe. Well, of course they're safe because they're hardly moving. And you're gonna have a lot of people that love it because there are a lot of people that don't like to drive. I mean, maybe the majority of people. It's turning cars into just a mobile living room, right? You get in the car and you can kind of like say, all right, take me to the office or take me here, take me there, and then you can sit back and do whatever you want. What? We're giving people more time to be on their cell phones. Like, is that the goal? Watch a movie. Oh, look, yeah, so his lights are up today. This is the first time, this is like the only time I've seen him with the lights on. Let's get a little shot. Hold on. See, this guy, there's a lot of stuff in that yard. A lot of stuff going on. I guess these soldiers up by the road don't turn on. There might be more lights that are supposed to be on, but that's the most that I've seen. See, yeah, these guys have plugs. There's some candy canes, and there's a little Christmas tree. There's the neighbor. I guess if you live there, you're like, I don't really have to do much. I'm not going to compete with this guy. But you know, I mean, think about it. People that do that, they're just trying to, you know, give their neighbor something. They're like, you know, I mean, it's a lot of work, and they're actually doing that for all of us. It's a nice thing. I mean, I realize in some cases the neighbors get a little crazy. There's a competition. Like with anything else, it can become whatever. I don't know what you'd call that. Stressful. Contentious. Can happen. But in spirit, it is a nice thing to do. You're just putting it out there. But anyway, so this is the first time I've talked about autonomous cars, but I do feel like it's developing. And it'll be interesting to watch and see what happens. I hear people that are like very excited about it. It's the best thing in the world. The people that get in there, you know, basically it's like you call it up as a taxi service is the way it's working right now. So really, I kind of wonder, are people going to buy cars anymore? Do you need a car? If you can just order your car, you know, like maybe that whole process will change. Maybe you don't need to own a car anymore. If in the world of autonomous cars, all, you know, because let's face it, what's eventually going to happen is there'll be a point where there become more autonomous cars than driving cars, and once we reach that point, hopefully I am not going to see that point in my life. But if we get to that point, then you're going to start to see people, and you watch, mark my words, you're going to see people moving toward rules that will restrict, limit, just make driving yourself unpleasant. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Because now you're going to be the danger. You know, you're going to have all these autonomous cars, and they're all connected to each other. They're not going to hit each other. So the only risk on the road is the person that's driving the car. So there will be, I think, and I don't know when this will happen, but eventually, if all of this takes place, you're going to have, it'll evolve into something where a person sitting behind the wheel of a car driving their car is going to be viewed as a risk. I can see that happen. And that's not the world I want to live in. Look, I was the guy that when I was 16 years old, birthday, gotta get my license. I mean, maybe a couple years before that, but that's a story for another day. But I needed to drive. And I love it. All my life. I love it. I just think it's the coolest thing. I mean, before video games, now I'm really going to sound old, but before video games, I remember I had this set of like the wooden toys, Tinker Toys, is that like done? they like connect little pieces of wood together. I don't remember the name of but this was a giant version of that, right? So I had like a little wheel type of thing that I could connect to a pole, and that was my steering wheel. And then I had I've made my own little driving world. I had a car, I had a place where I could sit and pretend like I was driving. I was looking at nothing, going nowhere. But in my mind, I was driving to the beach. I was driving a bus and picking people up many times. I was driving around the block, whatever. Totally in my mind. No pictures. I didn't even have a picture in front of me. I just had my mind. It's pretty cool if you think about it. I mean, that's how it was. Then I started, and I'm not going to go into the whole story, but that's when I used to start. My mom bought a new car, so she had her old car. It was a 1968 Galaxy 500, 8-cylinder, big, powerful car, and she bought. That was a 68. In 78, she bought another car, Ford Fairmont, and so that's what she was using. And she started like working part-time and doing some things because we were getting older. And I would sit in the car and just pretend I was driving. Folks, we are back in bakery land. So this is it for today's journey. Tomorrow is Monday, so I'll be back on at 5 o'clock, maybe 5:15, with another episode of Donuts Never Sleep. I don't know, I should come up with a name like that. I gotta organize my channel a little bit, because I want to start really kind of pulling some segments out of my drives. No. Look, see, my car is like next to this now, so I'm here we go. Yeah, it's a little better. Oh, so, all right, everybody. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. Be safe out there, and I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:15. See you then. Bye.